pride of NASCAR. Davy Pearson is out to capture the point championship, and he just might sew it up today. However, Bobby Isaacs in the Dodge number 71 may have a few plans of his own, and the Grand National Champion Richard Petty really needs this one. He's gone all season without a super speedway win. All cars holding position well as the pace car moves off the track. Suddenly, the ground quivers and the air is filled with a sound of power when this fantastic field explodes across the start line for the green flag. Out of turn one, Cale Yarborough has the lead in that Mercury Cyclone, with Bobby Isaacs running second. Paul Goldsmith is third. As they round out of the third turn, Richard Petty whips his Hemi Plymouth into the fourth slot right behind Goldsmith. And down the front chute, Isaac starts to close up on Cale. Watch it, there's trouble in the second turn. With the race only 2 laps old, Frank Gardner, the boy from Sydney, Australia, blew the engine in his Ford Torino. The wrecker picks him up, and this race is history for Frankie. On the restart, the Yarborough-Isaac battle continues. Bobby has that Charger running beautifully and challenges Cale in every corner. Through the first turn, Isaac has a wheel on him, and as they move through the second pocket, Bobby Isaac takes the lead away. Cale Yarborough in number 21 and Goldsmith in the Super B number 99 are right on top of Bobby Isaac. All 3 cars are bunched up through every turn. Cale Yarborough has just regained the lead, but Isaac and Goldsmith are just inches away. The NASCAR Rookie of the Year, Pete Hamilton, wheels his Dodge Charger into the pits for right side rubber and fuel. Pete's been running strong in that car ever since the green flag. Meanwhile, Paul Goldsmith tangled with Isaac and Yarborough and spun the Super B out on the back chute. With the yellow flag out, the pits are wild with action. Petty, Pearson, Yarborough, Isaac, Baker, Lund. Half the field is taking this opportunity for new rubber and fuel. Coming into the pits, Bud Moore, number 29, was sideswiped by Charlie Glotzbach and gets crunched up against the guardrail. This will put him out of the race. The crew is trying to straighten the fender on Glotzbach's Charger. As he was coming down pit row, he swerved to avoid a loose wheel, and in doing so, cut into the path of Bud Moore, causing Moore to smash into the guardrail. On the restart, Bobby Isaac looks like he was shot out of a cannon, and he fires into the lead. 1 lap after the restart, the officials have Glotzbach back in the pits. They're penalizing him 1 lap for the accident with Moore. Charlie claims it was unavoidable, refuses to go back in the race with a 1-lap penalty, and angrily wheels his car back to the garage.
You can only see that back in the day.
There goes another engine. Dexter Gainey blows his 68 Ford number 52 in the second turn. Look out, there's 2 more on the front chute. Car number 97, Red Farmer, careened off the wall down the main straight right in the path of Buddy Baker's Dodge Charger. Baker goes back in the race, but Farmer's car will have to be towed off into the pits. They drop the green flag for the restart. Richards screams at Hemi down the chute and takes Allison on the high side. Hey, another spinner in the second turn. Doc Tarr, driving the Zero Chevelle, lost it and spun in the corner. Then number 57, Stan Meserve, hit him and almost ripped the body off the car. Petty has the lead, but he has company. Leroy Yarborough is on his side with Bobby Isaac and Cale Yarborough right on his tail. But Richard's a scrambler, and this is the way he likes to run. Out of a 3-abreast sprint down the front chute, Bobby Isaac takes his lead back in the first turn. That Hemi Charger is unleashed fury. Darrell Derringer has had that Plymouth in the pits for the last 5 laps. Now the oil pressure is gone, and they push it behind the wall. Darrell is a long-time veteran on the NASCAR circuit, a strong contender in any race, but he'll be a spectator for the rest of this one. Uh-oh, this is a tough break for the Dodge boys. Bobby Isaacs is in the pits with a hood up. This could prove expensive. With Isaac in the pits, Petty hurls his Hemi Plymouth into the lead. Davy Pearson is second, Buddy Baker third, and Cale Yarborough fourth. On the 207th lap, Petty pitted for fresh rubber and fuel. This gave the lead to Buddy Baker, with Cale Yarborough a very close second. Baker in his tussle with Cale came in a little too hard on the outside. He brushed the wall, and now he's limping down the back chute. This gives the lead to the top money winner of the year, Cale Yarborough, driving the number 21 Mercury Cyclone. Baker makes it back to the pits. They changed a blown tire on the right side and have him back on the race in 17 seconds. Petty has his Plymouth in the second slot now, is rapidly closing the gap on Cale. Richard has his eye on the checkered flag, and he's pacing himself beautifully. Then Cale dives into pit row. The Wood brothers fit tires all the way around, refuel him, and number 21 is back on the track in 41 seconds. Meanwhile, Bobby Isaacs goes back into the race with a brand new distributor. His crew worked long and hard on that car, and with Bobby second high in point standings, they had to keep him in the race. 5 laps ago, Petty pitted for new rubber on both sides. It was a fairly long stop, and when he did get back in the race, he was second, almost a full lap behind Cale Yarborough, who has the number 1 spot. Wait a minute, Yarborough may be having Trouble. He's running about 3 seconds slower with a slight trace of smoke out of the rear end. Number 17, Pearson, is third with Donnie Allison fourth. He's coming in. Cale Yarborough is putting his Cyclone behind the wall and into the garage. The Wood brothers crew run over to the car as Cale climbs out. This was a bad break for Ford Motor. Cale is their top boy. He explains that the car just lost its punch. He stated that the oil pressure was low and that he felt it would blow if he stayed in the race. Here comes the judge. Petty owns the lead. Richard's Roadrunner is all alone and in the groove. He figures half the Coyotes are behind him, the other half are in the pits. Buddy Baker is in the pits with his Charger. His crew tell him that Hemi is all through and push him behind the wall. After 400 laps, the average speed is 104.461 miles an hour. That's a brand new record for this beautiful North Carolina Motor Speedway. Now, Donnie Allison opens at Torino number 27 and goes around Isaac on the outside. 1 lap later, the yellow flag is thrown when Allison goes too hard and too high into turn 3. Slams the guardrail. With that right front wheel gone, he limps into the pits. In the garage, Donnie is out of the car and out of the race. With just a few laps to go, Petty has the lead. Pearson is just a few seconds behind him, and Leroy Yarborough has the 3rd spot. The white flag. And with 1 more lap to go, Richard buries his foot in the muscle box and has that Roadrunner hung out all the way. Pearson in the Ford number 17 is second and trying to close, but that Hemi is too hot today, and with a half a lap to go, Petty is actually stretching him. Now that electric blue number 43 pounds down off the high bank 4th turn and screams under the checkered flag. Richard Petty wins his 2nd American 500. Look what Plymouth's up to now. They just captured a Roadrunner in the victory.